Alright guys, welcome back to All Things Outdoors. And today, in yesterday's video, I showed you guys how to remove vines from a tree without damaging the tree too much. So, today we're gonna make a video about how to deal with the tree afterwards. Now, once you've taken the vine off, you'll probably notice that the tree is very kind of sickly and spindly and not very good looking, and it kind of has more growth on the outside than on the inside. And with some trees that's fine and you should leave it that way, but with many trees it's not okay. So here we have a northern spice bush, and as you can see, it's got quite a bit of vine growth on it. Oriental bittersweet once again. So we're going to show you what you should do with the tree once it's been, once you've removed the vines. So we're going to remove the vines off of this tree as well, and we will show you how to do that. And we'll show you how to deal with the tree afterwards. So without further ado, let's get started. It's a pretty nice day out today, actually, I must say. And put the tripod, well, it's not a tripod, it's a nice bamboo stick that works perfect as a tripod. And there we go. It's kind of not really pointed at the tree itself that much, is it? Change that. And there we go. So, tools that you will need for the job are, you'll just need loppers, standard Fiskars loppers I have right here, as you can see. Pretty sharp. Nice clean cut. Very nice straight edge. So, get started. See, I think I might move the camera a little bit closer. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to remove the vines. And once again, you want to cut it very close to the ground to help prevent regrowth. And then what I like to do is, once you've kind of gotten this first section off, then I kind of like to cut the trunk off, like the stem of the vine off in sections, so that it can make it easier to get to it. And as you can see, we got a couple branches. Take a closer look at that, so you guys can see. We've got quite a few branches off of this vine. As you can see, we got a branch right here and a couple more branches up there. So we're gonna move those too. Camera back in the holder we've created for it. And the view looks good. And then you want to cut off those branches from the trunk. And then now you can just kind of pull them out. And they're pretty stuck in there. And this was a smaller tree, so it doesn't have as much problem with vines. And now we're going to take a bigger look at the actual tree itself. Let's get the camera. Makes a pretty satisfying click noise when I take it out of the holder. Now, as you can see, we got virtually no growth in the middle, and that's because of the vines. The vines were shading the branches and preventing them from sending out leaves like a healthy tree. So we're going to show you guys how to deal with that. As you can see, we got some growth on the outside. This branch here looks pretty healthy. Now I'm going to show you what to do. So I'll bring the camera in a little bit closer so we can get a good view of this. There we go. bring the stick so that it fits in nicely. And there we go. I'm gonna see, let's zoom out just a little bit so that we can get a better view of the tree. Okay. Alright, so then what we're gonna do is, so see how we have all this outer growth here? So what we're gonna do is, and although it may seem kind of like a bad idea, it's actually a good idea because this will help promote growth in the middle. We're gonna actually cut off most of, if not all, of the outer growth. Now you wanna leave some of those leaves and foliage in there so that it can regrow. And as you can see, we have a lot less growth on this side. And that's a good thing because that will help make it so that it has to make new growth in the middle. That's exactly what we want. Now we're going to pan it camera over and cut off the other side. And you want to leave some outer growth so that we can have, so the tree can still like survive. But we don't want to leave a lot of outer growth. Because this will cause it to shoot out more growth inside it. And here we have a dead branch. We can cut that off completely. And then we got a lot of growth here. And if you have any branches that are kind of turning in towards the middle, you want to cut those off too. And then we're just going to cut off the three ends of these. And now, pretty much done cutting. So now I'll show you what the finished product looks like. So as you can see, massively reduced foliage on all parts of the tree. Now that's exactly what we want here, is we don't want a lot of foliage on there because a lot of foliage will cause it on the outside or just make it continue growing out when we want growth basically on the whole tree. And you may think that was stupid, but it's actually going to really help it send out new growth. Now, this is not a good method for all trees. Like, I would not recommend this for trees like holly trees. We have a pretty nice one over there. See, they naturally don't have much growth in the middle. But here, and this is a northern spice bush. And we will show you how a healthy northern spice bush looks. So I would say this one here is, and that's not really the healthiest of ones. Here we go. See one right here. So as you can see, we don't have much growth here in the very middle, but we have a lot of growth kind of all over this tree. And it has one dead branch. Let's break that off. See, it kind of got a lot of growth on it. It's a lot more dense foliage. And that means that it's a healthy tree, because healthy trees will have lots of foliage, whereas unhealthy trees will not have that much foliage. So that's basically how I deal with trees that are kind of, and this can apply with trees not just because they have vines, but it can also work just if your tree is kind of spindly and doesn't have much growth in the middle and has plenty of growth on the outside. This can work for pretty much all spice bushes in any situation. And I actually have identified another tree that needs some trimming. So we'll do that one too to help kind of solidify this so that you can go out and then take care of your own trees. So grab the camera equipment. Got a camera equipment, camera holder, loppers. Now we're ready to go. Pretty neat hollow tree over there. Show you that in another video. And with the video yesterday's video, when I showed you guys that black hollow viburnum that had a lot of vines and needed some help. Now that thing looks a lot better without the vines, and we're gonna do, I'm gonna do updates. Thanks to Kay Jesperson for suggesting that we do updates on that tree to see how it's doing, see how it's growing and how the growth has improved. So yeah, thanks to Kay Jesperson, and we will be sure to do updates on that because I'm also very excited to see how its growth progresses and how it has more growth as time goes on, now that it doesn't have any vines on it. So identified spice bush. It's kind of hard to find them because a lot of the spice bushes kind of look the same, so it's kind of hard to tell which one is the one that you're trimming and which ones you're not trimming. See it. So that's an oak. Yeah, let's find a different one. Oh, here we go. Look at this. This one also has a lot of vines on it too. So we'll be sure to do a good job on that one, but we're gonna choose one that actually needs a bit more help with that. With vine problems, you know. They have quite a bit of vines in the forest here, so kind of used to dealing with vines. But not everybody does, so not everyone will know. So this is it. This is the tree. Let's get to pruning it. And so let's set the camera up. Fairly easy job. It just takes, you know, a decent amount of time. You know, this is not going to be something you can do in, like, probably only, I mean, like, yeah, it depends on how many trees and like how big the tree is and how much vines there are and how much needs to be pruned and all that kind of stuff. Depends a lot on that. So, you know, it will depend on how big the job that needs to be done is for this, for these plant jobs. Trying to find which end was the right end tripod, and we have found it. Okay, good. It's a camera holder in. This whole process takes a while. So anyway, let me know down in the comments how I did on filming, because I'm interested to hear how I did with the new setup. I apologize for sometimes having troubles with it. It is a very new setup, so no. Kind of still just getting the hang of it here. And I think we're good. We got our tree in the feature. Alrighty. So, got a lot of growth on the outside, and a lot of the growth, and some of these branches have dead branches, so we're going to cut off a lot of this foliage. That whole branch there is dead. And this will help to revitalize its growth. Alrighty. There you go. There goes a lot of that foliage, which is not exactly a healthy bush, and we're going to help fix that. Got quite a bit of growth on it that needed to be fixed, and this will require, and this could possibly require more work if it doesn't fix itself, and if it cannot fix itself, we may just have to, cut it completely, and then maybe a new tree will spring up from the ground, because these can send up new shoots from their stem if they're cut, even if they're completely cut. Very good. Oops. Branch fell on me. How much more biomass is on there? Cut this bit. I'd say that looks pretty good. Arms get tired after a while. Alrighty, there we go. Now we'll show you the finished product. As you can see, there's all the foliage on the ground that we cut off. Quite a bit of foliage is now gone off this tree. And actually, I see that we still have kind of a long area. A long branch that kind of sticks out. We don't really want it to lean too much to the side. We're just gonna kind of cut that off. Oops. Sorry about the wonky camera angles there. Hope I didn't make you dizzy. There we go. Now it looks a lot better, and it will be able to regrow fully healthy now that we have kind of pruned it. As you can see, now there's room in the middle for new growth to come up, and we still have a couple inward facing branches that I'm just gonna kind of pull off right now. And you do not want to get rid of all of the foliage. You do not want to get rid of all the foliage. You want to leave some of it because you don't want to starve the tree. You don't want to cut off all of its leaves because that's how it makes energy. So you don't want to remove all of its ways of making energy, or else you'll kill the tree, or at least severely stress it and make it not as healthy. Now, step back, you can see the whole tree. Looks really good. Very excited to see how it grows, and we will do updates on these trees as well to make sure that they're doing well. And anyway, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and be sure to put it in the comments down below saying that you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And we will see you guys on the next adventure.